let's start by connecting to the virtual sanctuary and just taking a moment to relax and to let go and to slow down and to take our focus away from the past and the future and to move into the unified field, the power of now, as Eckhart would say. Anne, Matic, lovely to see you. Very warm welcome. So for today's meditation, I would like to just invite you to simply connect with yourself and the aliveness of whatsoever is going on for you in this moment. It's like just check in with what's there. Feelings, emotions, thoughts. Is there any tension in your body? Are you aware of your breath? What sounds can you hear? You know, it's like taking your focus and just bringing it into the moment, but without any resistance to whatsoever is there. So not trying to change anything or judge or analyze, criticize, complain, control. All those aspects of behavior belong to the ego. And guess what? The ego belongs to the dimension of time and space. This 3D world that we live in, where there's a past and there's a future. And this is where a lot of our anxiety and fear and unease arises from, is when we move away from the present moment and start focusing on thoughts, on the imaginations that we have about the past. And as Lao Tzu would say so beautifully 2,000 years ago, if you're feeling depressed, you're focused on the past. And if you're feeling anxious, you're focused on the future. But when you bring your focus to the present moment, you're more likely to be at peace, right? But before we can reach that layer of peace, we need to somehow be connected and honor the truth of whatsoever is alive in you right now. So take a moment to do that. Take a moment simply to follow a breath. Move your attention into your body and, get comfortable. Maybe your body wants to stretch or even shake or just stand up and, touch your toes. But the point is to connect to the aliveness of this moment. That is the space from where you can move into a transcendent aliveness, where you can take a quantum leap. The power of now, as Eckhart so beautifully expresses it in his beautiful book. But to get there, it's so simple. Now, a lot of us think that because there's so much in my life and I don't have time, and all those excuses that we can come up with to prevent us from just taking a moment to connect to ourselves, they're just games. Being present doesn't mean that you have to let go of doing, of being in the world with facing all the responsibilities that we have to face. It's simply responding to your environment from a place of calm awareness, rather than anxiety and tension and stress. We want to move away from that. So having the intention to move away from that stress, that clutter, that relentless thinking, and move into a place of stillness. And how you do that is simply having the intention to do so. Okay, I'm going to move into stillness right now. I am not going to be pulled in to this relentless whirlwind of past, future, anxiety, fear, isolation, da-da-da-da-da-da. Let all that go. So moving into the present, having the focus on the present and simply connecting with whatsoever is your truth in this moment. And you know what? The beautiful thing is that's perfect. And what's perfect about it is that you're not trying to resist, to judge, control, complain what is alive in you now. You're simply being real. And guess what? We're human beings. Isn't that wonderful that we can just be at peace with whatsoever is going on? It's okay to feel emotions. It's okay to have thoughts. But the key in this game, the key to go quantum, is to simply focus on the present. That is it. And what do I mean by going quantum? What I mean is that from focusing on the present, from being connected to the aliveness of this moment, the opportunity arises for you to rise up, for literally your vibration to move away from the dullness of mind and mental emotional patterns into the lightness and the vibrancy of the heart space, of feeling gratitude, love, peace, joy. This is your natural state of being. This is who you are. Without the conditioned self, without the weight and anxiety of the past and the future. And simply being here. And that is really as simple as it gets. There is no conditions. You don't have to be in a state of bliss. You don't have to be feeling completely harmonious with the world. It doesn't matter what's going on in the outside, if you're on a street corner, if you're in a park, if you're in nature, if you're in a house, or if you're on the 30th floor of a skyscraper. You are always there. This aliveness, this consciousness is here now. Wherever you are, whatsoever you are doing, however you are feeling, whoever you are with. And it's simply bringing your focus to that, bringing your attention to it. And the breath is obviously a powerful tool to simply anchor that intention into the body, into the present moment. Your body is this interface that connects you directly with your environment through the senses, sight, sounds, taste, touch. To move into meditation, we don't need to disconnect from everything and move into a quiet space where we close our eyes and light some incense and go into a yoga posture. The practice of presence is connecting to the aliveness of your consciousness every moment of every day. And the practice is so simple, it's so available. Is simply being connected to the aliveness of whatever you're experiencing. Whatsoever you're experiencing. There's no part of you that says, no, that's not right. That's not right. There's no space for saying, I don't have time to meditate. Yes, you do. You're alive, you're breathing, you're present. So flow with me on this. The Drunken monk is going quantum. I've got a whole new kind of paradigm that we're going to move into next year. And it's just kind of like the very tip of that iceberg. Your enlightenment, your self-realization is right here, right now. And it's as simple as being attentive to the aliveness, to the flow of energy that's within and around your body. To avoiding the trap of being pulled in to a negative mental emotional pattern that takes you out of the present moment. Isn't that amazing? That here you are in this moment and it's perfect? Can that possibly be true? Try it out. What happens right now when you just let go of any kind of struggle? All those problems can wait for a moment. We're here together in this virtual sanctuary. We're sharing a heart connection. We've lifted our attention above the noise of the chaos of the world and just connecting in a place of stillness for a moment. And just look around. Is there any problems in this moment? There's a flow of a breath, and there's a feeling and a sound and a touch. And observing all that, this consciousness, and the consciousness is not saying, no, you need to straighten your back, you need to stop thinking, and you need to change that feeling, and you shouldn't be angry, and that was good and that was bad. That's the judge. Connect to your consciousness. What's she doing? Simply buzzing. So another breath. Staying with that. Staying with the truth of who you are in this moment. And imagine, what if this is perfection? Well, the mind might come in and say, well, no, but these are all the reasons it's not perfection. Ignore that for a moment. What if it is? What if this is it? What if I am incredibly powerful with incredible potential? What if I'm immortal? And this body is just a temporary shell that I'm using for a minute. From the perspective of time and space, we see things through a filter. And the ancients called it Maya in Sanskrit, many other words for it. Maya means illusion. God's play, Leela. So we play the game. But really, who am I? In my essential self. Now, it's not a question that's going to come in words, because that just becomes another concept, another idea, philosophy. Who am I? The stillness that's observing the thoughts, the emotions, the flow of this life, that observes the quiet joy that arises out of the silence of your being, of your heart. And using the breath to just hold that connection, that focus. And then there's a feeling of moving into a timelessness. The idea of time fades, becomes less important. Maybe it doesn't even exist. Now, of course it does in this dimension, but in that space of stillness, when you rest there, when thoughts start to fade, because you're no longer giving them any attention, who am I? The mind will never figure it out. That's not what the mind's for. The answers come from connecting directly to your essential self. And that part of you, that consciousness, is beyond thought. Thoughts are just a part of that. Feelings are a part of that. The body is a part of that. And thoughts, feelings, and the physical is all temporal. It doesn't last. You, on the other hand, this consciousness, explore that. Who am I? Without my stories that come and go. Without past and without future. There you are. All right. Thank you so much for sharing your presence. So stay connected, and I will see you in the next session. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. Grazie, grazie, ristoranta. Lovely to see you. You're so well-being. I love your names. So thank you, Judith. A busy day. You truly made me reconnect with myself and the power of now. That's great. That's what it's all about. The quantum meditations, yes, there'll be an online course happening in January, but I am looking to do some insight timer precursors starting next week. So there'll be a couple of weeks, 3 or 4 meditations on the insight timer. And yeah, and then starting in January, there'll be a full-blown proper course. All right, but also we'll be kind of starting them a little bit with 4 conscious mornings, and we start that on the 28th. So lots going on. Okay, guys, I will see you in the next session.